Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we are playing with a DIMIR control deck. I delved deep into the dark alleyways of DIMIR land and pulled out a deck I found over on the Platinum Mythic. And then I tore out all the counter spells, tore them all out, and replaced them with awesome cards from blue instead. What did we put in place? Things that tap, that stun things for a little while, and Surge Engine. Is it going to make this deck better than what it was originally? Stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, now taking applications for minion positions here in the Secret Underground Lair. You don't get paid, but if you do have an all-you-can-eat Twinkie policy, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Filmed before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found. Well, it's sort of over on the Platinum Mythic list of Magic GG, but it's not. So the deal is I did grab one. It was a DIMIR deck, and I said, you know what? I don't usually play DIMIR because I hate counterspells. Hate them. Hate them with a purple passion. I don't like generally playing with them. I don't like playing against them. So I tore them all out, tore out all of them, and I replaced them. I replaced them with other cards instead. So that's what we're playing with today. We're playing with a DIMIR deck, and we're playing without counterspells, because suck it, counterspells. So what we're going to do is we're going to go really quickly through the cards that are in this deck. We'll talk a little bit about what this deck is supposed to do, and then we'll go out and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. All right, let's see what we got here. We got Consider, which is just take a look at the future and make sure your next card is pretty decent. Here's a new addition to the deck. Because I really wanted to stun stuff. I wanted to play stun rather than counter spells. And I thought this guy was pretty awesome because if you have 1 mana, you can play it, and it's flying 1/1. If you got 3 mana, then that means you're going to stun something, which means it's out of the way for a couple of turns, and you got a flying 1/1 out of the deal. All right, this allows you to take a look at your opponent's hand, which is worth its weight in gold, and potentially get rid of a non-creature, non-land spell from it. Anyway, Surge Engine. Surge Engine is always so fantastic. It only costs 2 to put out. It's a 3/2 with Defender, but it grows, and it's cheap too. As long as you got the blue mana, it only takes 1 to make sure that it not only does it lose Defender, but then it also cannot be blocked. So it's a 3/2, and on your second turn, you could absolutely have an unblockable 3/2, which is fantastic. Otherwise, you get to 3 mana, it becomes a 5/4. If you got 6 mana, you can draw 3 cards. But you only can activate that 1 time. But still, I almost never use the 6 mana ability. Getting up to 5, making it unblockable, that's just nasty. Freeze in place. This one came with Wilds of Eldraine. It's one of the greatest stun cards out there. I'm talking big time about the cards I added to this deck, by the way. So it's 3 stun cards. That means you got like 4 turns of this thing not doing something, right? And then you get to scry 2 as well. So that is well worth it. It's pretty incredible. I like it quite a bit. All right, kill anything that's not an artifact, creature-wise. Get rid of creatures, tokens, and, or our planeswalkers. Haughty Djinn gets bigger with every instant and sorcery you play. Also, he makes it so instant and sorcery cost less to play. I hate Haughty Djinn. I mean, he's a really good card. But I don't like how haughty he looks. It really, he looks smarmy. I just want to punch him in his stupid face. He's a lot like Snotty Pants Soaring, except for the fact that he looks happy rather than sad. I think it's the big difference between Soaring being all snotty pants and haughty there. All right, Phyrexian Arena. This is the engine that keeps things going. It's like a bad drug. You lose your life. We don't have Sheoldred in here to make up for it, so good luck, and hopefully you can finish things off before you die. Memory Deluge draws you cards. Tolarian Terror it's cheaper to cast if you play more instants and sorcery. Otherwise, you got a Ward 2/5/5, which is pretty decent. Hullbreaker Horror will just destroy people, provided you can cast cheap spells along the way. Because with it coming out, return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. You know, I always forget this thing has flash. You should always flash this thing in. But yeah, you just start bouncing everything. You counter it, bouncing, whatever, man. They just can't keep up with you once you get this guy out. Problem is at 7, you got to wait a little bit so you can cast your spells afterwards. And if you play these cheap dudes, that'd be pretty awesome. Jin-Gitaxias. When you get this guy out, whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery, you counter that spell. But it only works once per turn. But still, I mean, what else can they play? 2 spells in a turn, you know? Whenever you play one of those things, you copy it. You create 2 of it. 2 artifacts, 2 instants, or 2 sorceries. We don't only have a bunch of artifacts here. We got Surgeon, and he'd be pretty cool to get 2 of those guys out. Virtual Persistence. It's worth keeping. He's just a 2. That's all you have to really commit to it. 2 mana, right? And it does -3, and you gain 2 life. Fantastic. Now, if you just happen to get up to 7, this thing will sit in your exile pile. They can't touch it. Nothing can go against it. And you can use it for 7 to grab creatures from any graveyard and put it onto the battlefield under your control at the beginning of each upkeep. Fantastic. So this card is a no-brainer, man. You should just play it if you're playing black, right? A nice collection of lands. The slow ones in here are a little much to me. Waterfront District is a little slow. What's the other one? This one. Dismal Backwater. Man, this one is also slow. I'm not sure that the slow lands are really worth it. I would never play with it. I just left them in because that's what the platinum or the premium or the platinum mythic deck was playing. I found this was a little, when I was playtesting this deck, the slow ones were a little much. But being able to draw the card, this one is well worth it. This one, gaining life, not so sure. You'll have to tell for yourself. It's a minor tweak. Maybe if you want to grab this deck, just get rid of the black waters and put in some swamps and islands or something. I don't know. All right, so that's it. What are we going to do with this deck? We're going to control the board. We're not going to let them do things with their creatures. We're going to try to get out Surge Engine, pump it. We have no protection for it. They're not going to be able to block it regardless of anything. Hopefully, we'll be able to cause enough damage between the Surge Engine and the Haughty Djinn that eventually would get up to our high levels. And at that point, they just can't keep up with us anymore. All right, so let's take this out. But before we do, let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Dear Black King Toxtrol, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentation of the women. I'm actually recording here. All right. Keep. We don't need black. We don't have any black. That was a problem. Oh, there we go. All right, we got ourselves a Surge Engine out. A couple of go for the throats. Value persistence. We got a lot of creature kill. Let's see what this guy has in his hand. All right, all in. Gonna gain 3 life. What's that thing? 3/3? Okay, we can use Virtual Persistence to kill it. Use lots of things to kill it. Wonder Twin Powers, activate! You say it'd be nice if I picked up another land. That way I can kill both his guys. Alright, in we go. 5 more. Death. And in for another 5. Alright, so this guy can become another 5 here on the next turn. It does not matter. Surge! Yep, unblockable, baby. Unblockable. Alright, we're played against Square, Square, Cryface. Square, 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 Cryface. Keep. He's got no pets. Oh, he does. She just showed up late to the game. Fashionably late. Alright, he's playing black. That's not great. Alright, we're all in for 3. Let's speed some things up for us. All in for 3. All right, here we go. 1 for us. 2 for us. All right, let's pop this guy down. Let's go for a little throat action there. In for another 3. All right, we just got to build here. All right, we got 5. We need 7 for this. Haughty Djinn can come out, but there's not been playing that many instants. One. 2. That's not great, is it? Alright, now we're shooting for 10. Can't be blocked. And we win! In your face, Sheoldred the Apocalypse. I can't believe I said that to you, baby. I love you so much. Alright, playing against BMC Clane. B. McLean. 871314. Because all those numbers are super important. We got a bunch of control. These guys would be cool if we could start killing some stuff too. Let's see what he does. That's it. All right, he's just going to start drawing some cards. All right, we got our guy. You can bounce it. You can bouncer tin it. Night-night, dragon. Night-night. I'm coming. We're going to come in. We're going to get you. Go on. Pass the rock, yo. All right, down to 15. That's funny. I've never seen these cards before in my life. Boy, they are so old, too. All right, let's see what he's going to do. You want to counter something? There you go. Down to 10. All right, now I got to rebuild that guy all over again. How much that cost to go past him too? All right, let's do it. Awesome. All right. So I need 7 to start ripping things out of graveyards. We're not at that point. Yeah, you didn't play it at the right time there. Yeah, I'm cool. No, I'm fine. Let's rev this guy up to 5. Can't block him. Alright, so next turn we got lethal unless you could do something about it. You bet out another one. I don't know why you're dragging butt, my friend. Either you got something or you don't. And it doesn't look like you do. Nope, you don't. And game's over. In your face, Blaine McLean. In your face. Alright, playing against Gerofante. Alright, the question is, should we play the slow one first? I'm thinking the answer is... no. We have so much we could do for 2. Nope. Let's consider the future. We're looking ahead. Another mana, huh? Let's just pass on that. That's cool. I mean, I'd like to be able to play 7, but either it'll happen or it won't. Alright, so we got 4 rolling here. We have go for the throat. Looks like we're just going to go for the throat. Let's put out the slow one, that's fine. Why, is this guy an artifact? Oh, he is! How freaking horrible. I may just have to suck it up, get the Snaremaster out on the next turn. I tell you, we're going to put out ourselves a Haughty Djinn, can't we, huh? This is just ridiculous. All right, let's put out the Snaremaster. One slow land can screw you up so hard. Alright, so you can still gain 4 life, but we can kill that guy. X-proof and indestructible. Haughty Djinn. Can't go for the throat. Nothing to kill. You got another one in your hand there, Smokey? Seems like you're a little light on creatures. You know who else is light on creatures? This guy. Alright, Phyrexian Arena, do what you do. And we'll put this one out. Nothing to snare, but I'll just do a single point of damage. As long as I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more before we can start persistencing. You're not an artifact, are you? Yeah, that's cool. What that guy's got going on kills me, man. Alright, looks like we're going to give up the Surge engine. Not too worried about what we got going on here. At least not yet. Things are still early, and that thing is going to make it impossible for me to deal with. How much statics put on there? 2? You have to put it on now. He'd be out of mana, and Surgeon can still kill him. Cool. Have a good time. Go for the throat. There you go. Death! Death! Do I have enough to do it again? Yeah, let's ramp up, baby. Alright, I know he's just going to slam all that stuff onto the Lion Sash. He's going to get lifelink out of the deal. But Hullbreaker Horror is going to do not so bad. We have good creatures here. A little bit. Alright, we're sucking it. Alright, there we go. Now, hopefully the Hullbreaker Horror will do some good stuff for us there. He's up to 5. He's up to 6. You can keep going. Yeah, those line sashes are being horrible for me right now. He's going to keep exiling stuff. Keep going for it, baby. And you suck. Victory. All right, up against Pudge, 671. Because apparently Pudge was taken 670 times before. 1, 2, 3. No. All right, the real question against mono blue. Yeah, okay. This guy probably can play more than blue. Probably. I'm going to say he's getting you guys out faster than what they can counter them. He's playing Simic. All right, let's just see if we can get this guy out. Yeah, we can. Really, he could be shut down by Jin-Gitaxias pretty fast. We just got to get up to 7 is the problem. All right, it doesn't really matter here. Put out something slow. Pop it up. Now he'll be potentially balancing some stuff. All right, we'll play this slow. It's fine. Pump! All in. Go do what you gotta do. No bouncing. There we go. Got him down to 9. We're at 4. Things are very exciting right now. And we win. All right. Yeah, Surge Engine was more than he can handle. All right, we're playing against jonnac. Or some weird cards there. All right. Nope. Playing out black slow. Black slow again, but Duressing. Let's see what we're going against here. So 2 more cards you want me to destroy, huh? He's got nothing. He's got Geth Thaner contracts. All right, let's get out a Phyrexian Arena. 1 more mana, we can get out to Terrors. I'm glad you got that out now. Ooh, okay, cool. All right, they're even cheaper, but not cheap enough yet. Let's see what we got going on in the future here. Yeah, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I put out the Terror. Give him something to shoot at. Oh, yeah. That is a little disappointing. Yes, Memory Deluge, Jin-Gitaxias, and Surge Engine, sure. Alright, this is the thing. Jin-Gitaxias will keep you from doing anything Untoward. You have to have 2 cards on your next turn, man. Be able to kill Jin-Gitaxias. That's to draw an instant or a sorcery on your next turn. As I slowly kill myself. All right, we got plenty here. Let's do this. And we win. That is... That's Haughty Pants action right there. Victory. All right, so here we are with DIMIR Control. It ended up being a very good deck. We ended up with an 80% win rate. 80%. That is incredible. The weird part was that here's the deal. The deck, people pee-pantsed. They got too scared and they left. Maybe because I'm playing in the play queue. Maybe they're just like, they saw the writing on the wall. I was starting to get omnipotent and they were just like, nope, we're out of here. So yeah, this deck had the ability to just completely shut people down. I don't know. They didn't like playing against it, whatever the deal was there. The good things were like Phyrexian Arena with being able to speed up the card draw process. I took out all of the counter spells. I put in Freeze in Place. I put in Snare Sprite, the Snaremaster Sprite, who does tapping and stunning. Surge Engine, just because any blue deck deserves to have Surge Engine. Surge Engine is so incredibly good. Like I believe blue should have card draw. I believe they should have the ability to copy stuff. I believe bounce is good. Stun is fantastic. But counterspells are the devil. I'm not a big fan of counterspells. Those are not awful evil. All right, so there you go. I liked it. I liked it, the deck well enough. It was DIMIR. It felt a little icky in my head. But other than that, it was still a fairly good deck as far as how well it performed. All right, so who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? What was the thing that really made this deck tick? I'm gonna say it's Phyrexian Arena because that's what sped everything up and made you get to the things you needed to get to, right? But Surge Engine was so incredible. The big problem with Surge Engine, we don't have any protection for him whatsoever. Surge Engine comes out. If they decide to kill it, the good thing is it's an artifact, so therefore Go for the Throat doesn't work against it. But there's so many other great things that could kill Surge Engine. Still, Surge Engine is such a fantastic card. He is definitely an MVP. He's way better than that black guy that gets Death Touch after a while or something like that. Surge Engine is way better than all that. So I'm going to give to both of them, Phyrexian Arena and Surge Engine. You guys are my MVPs. You're my most valuable players. Congratulations. All right, was this deck competitive? I ended up with 80% win rate. 80% out of 10 games. Whatever, man. But still, it was really good. The lack of counterspells, sure. Counterspells are dreadfully powerful. They keep stuff from happening. I just don't like playing with them personally because you have to keep mana aside and you don't get to use it. You have to react to your opponent. I prefer to be much more aggressive on how I'm playing and controlling. So this deck was definitely a great winning deck, and it did a good job. I kind of felt like it could do better. But the thing is, when you get to 80% and you're making a video, yeah, that's a deck worth showing. So there you go, man. 80% deck win rate, absolutely. Check, right? Number 2, was this deck fun? Yeah, here's the deal. I love a good control deck. I prefer aggro. I like aggro control. Right? I like it when you're like red and you can get out some nice hasty guys and you're shooting things. That's fantastic. This deck, we got the ability to freeze dudes, to stun them with Freeze in Place and Snaremaster Sprite. We have the ability to kill things with Go for the Throat, Sheoldred's Edict, Virtue of Persistence. All that stuff is really good, right? So that level of control was pretty fantastic. That was fun. But what was also nice is that the Snaremaster Sprite was still a 1/1. You were doing something. You're doing 1 point of damage. Man, there were times I was doing 1 point of damage and roll back up to 24. I'd still get them back down to 21 at a time. It sucked, but at least I was doing something. Surge Engine, for as cheap as he is, 2, then 3. This guy is a monster. I don't know why we don't see Surge Engine getting played all the time. Surge Engine is fantastic. It is way aggro for blue. Yeah, totally. Totes my goats. That Surge Engine is fantastic, which is why he's my MVP. Tolarian Terror comes out eventually. This deck's not really, there's some enchantments in here, so it's hard to get to the whole instant and sorcery thing, but it was enough to get Tolarian Terror down to a recent level. I love playing with Jin-Gitaxias. It just locks down the game so hard. Even on yourself, though, I believe. It's everything, right? Whenever you cast an artifact, you copy that spell. Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's even better. It doesn't lock down against you. It doubles it up. Jin-Gitaxias is so good. So good. All right, so yeah, fun deck. It wasn't quite aggro enough for me, but there was still enough to make it worth playing. It wasn't like you're just sitting around with your thumb up your butt, wait until you got to 7 mana. All right, number 3, was this deck interesting? Yes. Yeah, the reason why is, number 1, I'm not a big fan of DIMIR, mostly because they're loaded with counterspells, and I hate playing counterspell decks. I hate playing them, I hate playing against them. So yeah, I just got a good DIMIR deck, and I tore all that stuff out. I put in Surge Engine and the tappers, right? And I thought, is this going to be good? Is it going to be a good deck still? You know what? I think it did better. I think it did better than what it would have been otherwise. I don't know. I didn't really play it otherwise. It was on the Platinum Mythic list originally, but still those things only usually roll around 65%, 60 to 65%. This thing I got 80 out of, man. I don't know. I mean, I think it was Surge Engine. The tappers did all right. What's nice is like you get guys that recurs, that self-recurs, like the Tenacious D, and instead you could tap them and set them aside for like 3 turns. That's kind of nice. All right, so anyways, yeah, I thought this was an interesting deck. It was good to play with some new cards. I really like the tapping ability. Hard to say whether, it seems like for blue, it's fantastic. For blue, it is fantastic. Because you're not doing direct damage, you're not just killing creatures outright like white and black do. Tapping is fantastic for blue. I think it's worth it. I think there's that guy, there's the Sentinel who pumps up every time you tap somebody's thing. We probably should have put this in here. I don't know who we would take out and put out instead. Duress is kind of I'm going to talk smack about Duress. Duress is a stupid card, but it's not, because it allows you to see your opponent's hand. And there's so much you gain from seeing what your opponent is playing. Even if it's just looking at their hand, even a blue card to do that kind of thing, and not discarding something, it's worth doing. There's so much good information that comes from that. But everything else in here is pretty sweet. So I don't know. We have to mess around with it and see how things kind of work out. Hullbreaker Horror. It's those 7s. Those guys are just so hard to get to. There's not a lot of ramp in here. But when you get to them, oh, it's so good. So good. All right, so let's add that up. Was this deck competitive? Yes, it was. Was this deck fun? Yes, it was. Was it interesting? Yes, it was. That's all right. I'm going to give this deck an A+ then. It's an A+ deck. There is room for improvement. You can make it A++. But for now, it's just an A+. And as federal law requires me to say, this deck is so choice. I would highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.